Hi, I'm Christine from Taipei Computer Association. We are co-organizers of Innovex and Computex Taipei. As a nonprofit organization, one of our missions is to facilitate the growth of the ICT industry, bridging professionals and business globally. And we place tech startups close to our heart. Therefore, we feel that business engagement, shared values between the experts cannot stop during the pandemic era. As the co-organizer of Innovex and Computex Taipei, we often are asked the question, what's next? Well, we are very privileged to invite a few seasoned professionals here with us to engage in this cybersecurity session. For today's topic, keeping the good stuff in, bad things out. As we know, in recent years, hackers targeted major companies and resulted in huge financial losses. While the pandemic has created new challenges for businesses as companies accelerating into their digital transformation, cybersecurity has now become a major concern. We have assembled a perfect team here. Mr. Hong, General Manager from Trend Micro, Taiwan and Hong Kong. Hello, Mr. Hong.
Hello.
Dr. Zhang. Hello. Dr. Zhang, co-founder of Wage Networks Incorporation. Hello, Dr. Zhang.
Hi.
Hi. And Mr. Chu, CEO of Choppers, who is a startup under Startup Tyrants here in Taiwan. Hello, Mr. Chu.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mi.
This is one of the government projects that the Taipei Computer Association is executing. Thank you all for being here to join us today. So we know that Trend Micro is one of the leading cybersecurity solution providers in the world and have facilitated many corporations in their digital transformation, which brings me to my first question addressed to Mr. Hong. The pandemic has multiple and complex negativities, but are there any opportunities that you've come across? Bob?
Yes, the pandemic has brought a destructive impact for almost all industry, but the influence for cybersecurity industry may be different. And the first reason is the pandemic changed the way we interact with others. Remote working model become the new normal. The original security countermeasures for company physical boundary are no longer able to protect the corporate network. It means the hacker has more opportunity to launch the attack. Based on our observation, the remote workers already become a main intrusion channel for hacker in recent cyber incidents. And secondly, hacker also leverage the panic and the unstable emotion of the public to carry out the attack or scam. For example, the phishing mail with the pandemic relative the topic is booming. It is easy to attract people to open it and get hacked. So although the pandemic limited the commercial activity for all industry, including cybersecurity industry, however, cybersecurity, the requirement and the demand, no doubt, will increase along with the increasing cyber threat. Another factor which will cause more important and long-term influence is the digital transformation. Just as Christine just mentioned, the pandemic accelerates the progress of a digital transformation. So enterprise wants to create a new business model, the innovative product, effective operation, and the agile supply chain through the digital transformation. To meet the requirement, introduce the new technology is the must. So it also means more network connectivity and more open IT structure. As a result, it will create more attack surface for hackers and lower the entry barrier for cyber attack. Besides, the consequence of the attack will be much more serious than ever. For example, the emerging application of the new technology for a self-driving car, the consequence of a cyber attack is not just about the data losing. It's about endangering the human life. So mitigating the risk will be mission critical for cybersecurity industry. Of course, the new technology will also help cyber security ability like AI, like a blockchain, like cloud. But all the new technology will create much more security issues while they are applied. From security vendors' perspective, it means a lot of new opportunity, like cloud security, IoT security, even like communication technology security, etc. Then the different application scenario will need different countermeasures. For example, the security for smart manufacturing, including like industrial IoT security, and also the industrial control system, ICS security, even the 5G private network security, if the factory already applied the 5G private network. Another example is for fintech application. It may involve cloud security, API security. Besides, the supply chain security it's become a very hot topic recently. It definitely will be a continued focused issue, especially for manufacturing industry. Furthermore, to respond to the booming target ransom attack, the anti-APT technology is also a critical area need to continue developed. So in summary, I say cybersecurity is the must infrastructure in digital transformation. It will be a lot of a challenge ahead, but also plenty of the opportunity. The trend of a digital transformation is unstoppable. There will be a big business potential. Just depends on how we can seize the opportunity through effective service and solution offering.
Based on your observation, what's the pain point for the enterprise CIO, CSIO, or cybersecurity administrator for a corporation? Are there any challenges that they might encounter?
Yes, the mission of a CIO, CSO, CISO is to empower the digitalization or digital transformation for the company. So it means more ICT technology need to be introduced. In the meantime, CIO and CISO also need to mitigate the risk due to the new technology used. However, cybersecurity always falls behind the progress of digitalization. In most cases, company didn't consider the cybersecurity when the IT system was designed in the first place. Then it will create a lot of security gaps. Besides, the regulation and the compliance of the data and privacy protection is getting strict. Like a GDPR, the fine may reach 4% of company annual revenue. So it will seriously impact the company operation. So how to protect the data and the comply the regulation is the critical issue for CISO. So another pain point for CISO is the very complicated security operation. There are too many security solutions to manage and too many security alerts to respond. According to survey results, most of the enterprise see more than 10,000 alerts per day. And 27 of the enterprise security team even see more than 1 million alerts per day. So enterprise security team is overwhelmed by the alert, and they really require effective way to handle it better. So company needs a lot of resources to deal with the problem. But unfortunately, the cybersecurity professionals are always not enough. So cybersecurity talent shortage is the another pain point for CISO. So according to the survey report, there will be 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity jobs globally by 2021. So all the above pain points actually also create good opportunities. So whoever provides effective solutions to resolve the issue would be able to catch these good opportunities.
Thank you, Bob. Really abundant information that you've given us. Let's hear from another professional, Dr. Zhang, previously co-founded the 24C Group Incorporation, pioneered the first digital receipt infrastructure for secure electronic commerce, and the global leader in agile development methodology. Cybersecurity has been identified as a top concern in the digital transformation. In the last 5 years, global cybersecurity spending has exceeded $1 trillion. However, the damages from cyber breaches are rising much more, reaching $6 trillion US by this year. Why is this the case? Is there still hope?
Thank you, Christine, for that very good introduction. Yes, I definitely echo the tremendous challenge that faced in the global economy. And just like Mr. Hong mentioned before, right? And there are some very large forces pushing the situation to be very dynamic. For example, that working from home, right? And certainly the security measure is not going to be like the same. We are sitting in a corporate castle. And the other major change that is happening right now is a tremendous amount of workload and moving into the cloud, and that need to be centrally managed, and it is a tremendous challenge there. And the third element is that there are a lot of investment into the smart grid, smart infrastructure, right? A lot of industry control devices, IoTs, and so on, and that creates another level of vulnerability. So in addition to that, our old way of management of the security is not keeping up with this dynamics right now. And for example, one of the key measure in the industry, the practice in the industry is a so-called detection and remediation, right? You detect something, then you try to fix it. Well, that becomes very difficult to do. I was recently talking with a chief security officer, CISO, of a major bank, and this gentleman told me that each day there are thousands of events that are created by their detection system, but their best analysts can only analyze 40, 50 events per day. You know, this gap continually grow, right? When you are being bombarded with a lot of signals, and it will be difficult to respond to the true threats. So that's really the issue that, and the key issue that just surfaced, because there are so much industry trends coming in here, and we have to actually basically find a solution to this problem here. Yeah.
As you know, APAC, especially Taiwan, has been the manufacturing base for the hardware and network guild that powers the digital transformation. However, most values are created by software and digital services. So, how do you see partnerships in the cybersecurity sector that can unlock the value for the vendors of these skills?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely echo your opening statements there. Every time I visit Taiwan, especially when I go to Hsinchu, I'm really, really impressed with the kind of innovations and the kind of productivity that is demonstrated there. And I know that global digital economy would not be here without the manufacturing industry in Taiwan there. So it is great accomplishment. Now, moving into the next phase of the global economic development, I think that one thing is important, as the other panelists mentioned, right? There is a strong emphasis on supply chain security, right? So that requires all the suppliers and the fundamental element suppliers need to be compliant to certain security standard. For example, that GDPR standard, right? And the different kind of medical industry and financial industry standard there. So investment into this area is a must to have from the manufacturing base there. The secondly, you are also very correct to see that most of the value has been created by applications and analytics and the data, right? So in order to leveraging the strengths of manufacturing and tap into the higher value chain, what the industry need to do is basically through partnership, right? Through partnership with software vendors, data analytics experts to actually really provide a vertically integrated total solution to get into the supply chain there.
Thank you, Dr. Zhang, for your valuable insight. Our last but not least, Mr. Chi specializes in cryptographic systems, cloud technologies, and has long experience in information security protection. We know that Tropis has provided solutions to industries for some years, such as healthcare and crypto. So in your observation, which industry is most vulnerable?
Thanks, Christine. Yeah, hi, Bob and Hongwei. And I also want to learn the dots from your information. So, Tropis we based on the cryptography to create some products, help customers avoid from the lost at the especially design level, like Hong say. So in Tropis, we focus on provide more solution like key management, authentication, authorization, and some end-to-end encryption. For my observation from my clients, for example, for cryptocurrency, everyone know that Bitcoin is equal around 50K USD now, and it is first ist record, which compared with the other digital currency in the world to achieve the 1 trillion market cap size. Yeah, so Bitcoin is around 10 years to achieve 1 trillion now. So hacker or attacker think a lot of way try to steal the asset from my clients. So in the cryptocurrency and the blockchain industry, we said that the infrastructure all comes from the distributed ledgers and the public key systems. So once the attacker can control or access the private key, he can move all the assets by one click. So our observation is that our client do not really trust open source. They will like to involve like secure chip or HSM in the design level. And they also the database protection, they will care about that. They also will hire the extra security team to review their architecture when we want to release a new feature online. So that is a totally different design pattern compared before. Before is we focus on the feature and we can go to market. We do not need to care the security. But in cryptocurrency and the blockchain industry, because key management is too sensitive. So or any operation on your transaction or you sell or exchange your coins. So in this industry, companies really focus on that. And the cryptocurrency is more like the control under like KYC or AML under control. So which means in the world, people see cryptocurrency will become the next bank in the near future. So my client they will adopt a lot of invest a lot of money on that to do the like a penetration test, keep test their cloud API endpoint, make sure everything is correct and do not have risk. The risk can under control for that.
Okay, I would like to ask Bob if you would like to share some of your perspectives, to share like some cases or scenario from your side, because I believe you have certain experience in the industry. So Bob, would you like to comment?
Yes, I want to comment on the question you just mentioned about
yes.
Which industry is more vulnerable. Okay, according to the survey result in 2020, okay, I think the top one industry get hacked is the manufacturing industry. Okay, let me share one survey report done by Tremor. We have a survey more than 500 manufacturers. Then there's a 61% of manufacturing client has experienced the cyber incident, and the 75 of them claimed they have been experienced the system shutdown, and 43% of them claim the system shutdown time is over 4 days. Okay, so as you can imagine, this is situation is quite serious. It's quite serious. Okay, I did not like telecom industry or banking finance industry. There is there's a government authority to audit their security. The manufacturing industry in the past they didn't own commercial data, so cyber security is always not kind of important for them. But now the situation changed, because hacker found if they can, disrupt their operation, then also disclose the confidential data, then they can, ask a huge ransom for the manufacturer. So I think the manufacturing industry is really a critical industry, need to enhance their cybersecurity. I think it should be their key point to enhance. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Thank you. I believe, yeah.
Question.
Okay, yeah.
To wrap up. So
Yes.
I'm doing some analysis like some hardware chip. So my master thesis is writing about the crack of a MyFair classical car. So it's a kind of easy car, is a transportation car we use every day. So at that time, and the attacker doing some attack is for hobby or for research. So I would like to know, for this trend, does the attacker or the hacker will become an industry in the future, or maybe government or some your enemy will hire them to attack you, and they can get the benefit. So do you see this trend?
Yes, I would say that's already become normal now, which means the cyber criminal now is the group, is a whole group. They got a very complete the ecosystem. So for the recent major cyber breach, you guys may see from news. Okay, so there are all attacks launched by a cyber criminal group. They have very good hacking tools, and also they selected the target based on their financial income. So so if they really check their financial status, as long as they are profitable, they have a more motivation. They carry out the attack. So this is a real industry, and this is a real business, the profit-driven business, and also this is very profitable.
I believe Dr. Zhang, so you would like to comment or share some perspective from your side?
Yeah, definitely. I echo that the other panelists just discussed, right? There is certainly the so-called malware or ransomware as a service. So that industry is actually booming, and for sure. I would say that if you look at in the future, very, very near future, right, with all governments investing trillions of dollars into infrastructure, I think that really there are several factors are really impacting the future of how cybersecurity is going to unfold. And let me give you an example that I was actually in a testing range of autonomous car, one of the largest car manufacturers in the world. So we were traveling in an autonomous car. The car manufacturer's product manager sitting beside me, right? He told me, look, Dr. Zhang, we are traveling 100 kilometers per hour right now, right? And if there is a cyber attack and we cannot respond in 10 milliseconds, the car will travel 28 centimeters. That's more than enough to crash a body or cause serious harm, right? So you can look at multiply this by millions of cars, smart infrastructures here, right? And certainly there is a sense of crisis when you are cybersecurity people like us here, right? We really worry about that. So that will be a very important technical challenge we need to resolve. How can we provide real-time prevention for those smart infrastructures? And also other technology forces, for example, that like Mr. Chi is actually into the crypto, all those encryption is absolutely critical, right? But now there are changing forces of with quantum computing. The NIST is actually published guide on what will be quantum safe encryption. We are seeing another lot of changes there. So I would actually go back to the initial observation. The hackers, all this, they formed ransomware as a service as an industry, right? I also see a positive development in the cybersecurity industry, which is managed security services, right? That allows us to put expertise together, allow us to gather threat intelligence together, and then we definitely had hope to actually counter the bad guys.
Certainly, these are very crucial notes to take in here. But just one last question to anyone here. And so, do we foresee a major breakthrough of the technology in the near future? So, if anyone would like to respond to this question.
Me first. So yeah, I want to echo about home. It's a quantum computer. So TRPIST work with IIS for years. We study about quantum resistant algorithms and selected by the NIST. So actually, in the NIST we have 3 algorithms. We have a Taiwanese researcher is on the list. One is for Rainbow, the other is Andrew Point, and we try to find the better algorithm or system to protect people when the quantum computer is coming, because quantum computer you can see it's more like a kind of ASIC. You can write the quantum algorithm to solve specific question, like the big numbers factory. Like you know the A, you want to factor to B minus C. So it's a very hard problem in the modern computer. But in the quantum computer, you can write a good algorithm and fact it in a very faster way. So I think for cryptography or security, the majority breakthrough technology must be a quantum computer in the near future.
Okay, Bob.
Yes, I also agree. Yeah, quantum computer will definitely change the strategy landscape and also totally change the business of cybersecurity industry. This is the big thing next, and I think we should get prepared for the change.
Yeah, which means we have a lot of work should do, and we can keep our job for engineering. Yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Zhang, would you like to add more?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that really, to look at it, it's not that the first time humanity has encountered a lot of challenges, right? I recall that we have a wide network, we have resellers in many different countries. I recall visiting them in the third world countries, especially resellers. When I check into the hotel, I dare not to drink the water from the tap. I have to actually boil the water to kill the germs, right? Because I'm afraid of being infected. And here in North America, so I can just open up the tap and drink the water. I go to Taiwan, the same thing, right? And what I'm looking at, you're asking what will be the big breakthrough. I imagine in a very near future, we are going to have a security management system. It's like a water filter system that we can filter out all the bad things before they even reach the endpoint, right? That we actually formed an ultimate solution to the industry. So any endpoints you can connect to the grid, you can actually do your work, and you can actually deliver the value without worry about spending the CPU cycles and without worry about having the security analysts continually sift through the mountains of events there, right? And this is what our global cybersecurity community is working towards, a system that will cure all the bad things, like what happened in humanity during the past many centuries.
Thank you so much. I believe our session has come to an end, and thank you for sharing your expertise and taking the time to speak to us today, and the discussion on how cybersecurity companies keep their business safe and how to be prepared for digital transformation and all the challenges and threats that we've encountered. So Innovax still have many more great content coming up. Please don't forget to click like, subscribe, and make sure the bell icon is on so that you don't miss out anything. And you may also check out Mr. Hong, Dr. Zhang, and Mr. Zhi's website, which links to the description below in YouTube. If you have any questions, please leave us a comment and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So once again, thank you for joining us today, and we will see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.